Hello, I'm Fred Miller, and this is another one of my lectures in song on American popular music. Uh, these programs are part of my history. My musical life goes back to my childhood in Albuquerque, where I had a wonderful classical teacher that grounded me in Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. And then on my 13th birthday, the Beatles arrived in America. So that was my teen years, and that phase of my life ended when I hitchhiked with a friend from New Mexico to the Woodstock Festival. And that was it for rock music. And I settled in Greenwich Village. Then, shortly thereafter, somebody gave me an album of Ella Fitzgerald singing Cole Porter, and here I am, American popular song, the great golden age of uh, Gershwin, Porter, Kern, Rogers, Berlin, Fred Astaire, Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Ethel Merman, the whole wonderful world of it. I was determined that I was going to perform that music on a regular basis somehow. And it took the form about 30 years ago of what I called lectures in song. I started with 6 programs, and now, to date, I have 75 different programs, all on my website, fredmillermusic.com. They're all in 7 different categories. Today's program is one that is suitable. Certainly, it precedes this great golden age of American popular song. It's really the roots of American music. It's the roots of American history itself. Uh, the whole story of America can be told in song. I think of this as an Americana sampler. There's so much to cover. So I'm going to start with, I think, maybe the first great American musical art form, and that was distinctly American, and that was the Negro spiritual. Obviously, it was born of slavery. It expresses both the highest highs and the lowest lows of human experience as well as the American experience. And one of the stories that post-emancipation, one of the glorious stories, is that immediately Black Americans were trying to catch up after being held down for so long. There was a college called Fisk College, an organization that had a wonderful world-class choir that toured the world, and they had a wonderful repertoire of all the great, the Brahms Requiem and all the oratorios and what have you. And one of the things that really made them stand out so was they did a medley, in addition to all these great classical works, of Negro spirituals. Most of the world had not even heard these, and people were astounded. There's something about the spirituals. They're so simple and yet so powerful. They express every sort of emotion there is, and they were rooted in American history, in slavery, actually. It's a testament to America that we were resilient enough to do away with it, with the Civil War at a huge cost, and the greatest cost I think we've ever had to pay. We remain a resilient land. We were then, and hopefully we remain so. In the words of the great American contralto Marian Anderson, the Negro spiritual is the simple, direct, and sincere contact with the soul of man throughout the world. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. Oh, my Lord, what a morning when the stars begin to fall. You'll hear the trumpet sound to wake the nations underground. Look into my God's right hand when the stars begin to fall. Great day, the righteous marching, great day. God's gonna build up Zion's wall. Great day, the righteous marching, great day. God's gonna build up Zion's wall. Chariot rode on the mountain top. God's gonna build up Zion's wall. My Lord spoke and the chariot stopped. God's gonna build up Zion's wall. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. The big wheel run by faith, little wheel run by the grace of God. Wheel within a wheel, wheel in the middle of the air. Wheel, 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 wheel in the middle of the air. Wheel, 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 wheel in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel of time, wheel in the middle of the wheel. Every spoke was humankind, wheel in the middle of the wheel. Way up yonder on the mountain top, wheel in the middle of the wheel. Our Lord spoke chariot stop, wheel in the middle of the wheel. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Well, I looked over yonder, what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A whole band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Sweet low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Well, if you get to heaven before I do, coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming on through, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. We have always been a deeply religious country, founded and nourished on religion, hopefully on morality as well. This is all rooted, I think, in James Madison's wise observation that if men were angels, no government would be necessary. Unfortunately, we're not angels, we're only human. So we have the rules, the laws, internal checks and balances. And I think the problem with all that comes when just simple restraint becomes just sheer rigid control. So you have to strike a balance somehow. Well, I'm going to give a little sermon here. This is a little maybe sterner than I need to be. Wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging. Wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Touch not the wine, the beautiful wine. Shun its temptation, bright though it shine. Millions today are caught in its snare. Shun its temptation, of it beware. Dare not trust yourself in its snare. Goodness and mercy dwelleth not there. Misery and woe the wine cup will bring. Ever it biteth, endless its sting. Wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging. Wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. O God, be merciful to those who are weak, and crave strong drink. Be to them a strong tower against a monster that would swallow them up. End of sermon. Have your little drink, but in moderation. Before there was Gershwin, Porter, Kern, Rogers, Berlin, the whole wonderful world of the 20th century music, there was the first great American songwriter, and that was Stephen Foster. Born in Pittsburgh in 1826, he led a very destructive, self-destructive life, really, of drugs and alcohol and just irresponsibility. Made life a misery for both his children and his wife. The songs of Stephen Foster have lasted for so many, well, they're still around because they have an incredible lyricism, they're a beauty, but they're also important, I think, that they were written before abolition, and black people who were slaves, chattel, property at the time, inhabit these songs. They are the human beings. They are given human emotions. This is in the 1850s, before abolition, before emancipation. So I think one of the things about the Foster songs is the humanity that's expressed, giving blacks humanity. And in a way, this is a way music, art somehow advances civil rights and really human progress. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, born like a vapor on the summer air. I see her tripping where the bright streams play, happy as the daisies that dance on her way. Many were the wild notes her merry voice would pour, many were the blithe birds that warbled them o'er. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. Shanghai chicken, when you put him in the pit, he'll eat a loaf of bread, but he can't fight a bit. Shanghai fiddle is a funny little thing. Every time I tune it up, he goes ching ching. Oh, the Shanghai, don't bet your money on the Shanghai. Take a little chicken in the middle of the ring, but don't bet your money on the Shanghai. Nellie Bly, bring the broom along. We'll sweep the kitchen clean, my dear, have a little song. Poke the wood, my lady love, and make the fire burn. And while I take the banjo down, just give the mush a turn. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dose of melody. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dose of melody. Down on the Mississippi floating, long time I travel on the way. All night the cottonwood a-totin', sing for my true love all the day. Nellie was a lady, last night she died. Toll the bell for lovely Nell, my dark Virginie bride. Oh, the Glendiburg is a mighty fast boat with a mighty fast captain too. He sits up there on the hurricane roof and he keeps an eye on the crew. Well, I can't stay here, I work too hard, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll take my duds and tote 'em on my back when the Glendiburg comes down. Oh, for Louisiana, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll take my duds, tote 'em on my back when the Glendiburg comes down. Well, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry. The sun so hot I froze you death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. Well, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night, everything was still. I thought I saw Susanna, she was coming round the hill. Well, the buckwheat cake was in her mouth, a tear was in her eye. Says I'm coming from the south. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. Well, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Camptown ladies sing this song. Doo-dah, doo-dah, Camptown, along. Oh, doo-dah day. I come down here with my hat caved in. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I go back home with a pocket full of tin. Oh, doo-dah day. Wanna run all night, wanna run all day. I'll bet my money on the bobtail nag, somebody bet on the bay. Long-tail filly and the big black horse. Doo-dah, doo-dah. They fly the track and boats got across. Oh, doo-dah day. The blind horse sticking in a big mud hole. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Can't touch the bottom with a 10-foot pole. Oh, doo-dah day. Wanna run all night, wanna run all day. I'll bet my money on the bobtail nag, somebody bet on the bay. Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away, there's where my heart is turning ever, there's where the old folks stay. All up and down the whole creation, sadly I roam, still longing for the old plantation and for the old folks at home. Oh, the world is sad and dreary everywhere I roam. Oh, how my longing heart grows weary in the old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, we're carefree and gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by hard times comes a knocking at the door, then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh weep no more today. We will wing one song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home, far away. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone all the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Americans, like everybody else, have always wanted entertainment, and long before we have the modern radio and records and films, we had song, live song, and there was a whole genre of disaster songs that were very popular in the 19th century. Just give you a little sample here. This one actually was a special favorite of Abraham Lincoln, and it's a disaster song, but from way before Towering Inferno or anything like that here. The storm o'er the ocean blew furious and fast, and the waves rose in foam at the voice of the blast. And heavily labored the gale-beaten ship, like a stout-hearted swimmer, the spray at his lips. And dark was the sky o'er the mariner's path, except when the lightning illumined it in wrath. It's a whole long saga. It's a barn burner, a real cliffhanger. Anyway, we'll sort of dispense with the barn burners and then just go on to a story that didn't need dramatizing. In fact, it was so real, and it's one of the great miracles. It is the core miracle of American history, and that is the settling of the West. It's in song in 1,000 different ways here. Lift up your eyes, desponding freemen, fling to the winds your needless fear. He who unfurled your beauteous banner says it shall wave 1,000 years, 1,000 years, my own Columbia. 'Tis a glad day so long foretold, 'tis a glad morn whose early twilight Washington saw in times of old. It was called Manifest Destiny. It was an exceptional vision for an exceptional land. People were brimming with confidence and hope. Really a lusty pursuit of a dream, indeed. Everything after the revolution was about expansion and movement, and opening the frontiers. And as I think Cal Coolidge said, the business of America is America. And so people were moving products, things, selling things. I got a mule, her name is Sal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a good old worker, a good old pal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal. We've hauled some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal, and hay. And we know every inch of the way from Albany to Buffalo. Low Bridge, everybody down Low Bridge, 'cause we're coming to a town. And you'll always know your neighbor, you'll always know your pal if you ever navigated on the Erie Canal. Well, with new sources of power and energy, the American saga really was gaining momentum, and the railroads took their people across everywhere. Canals, the tracks, trails. Somebody had to go to these places and do these things first, and they are called pioneers. It's the essence of the American saga, really. Uh, Reaching out into the unknown. And so many of those people, we hardly even think of them as adults. They were young teenagers, some of them, young men and women, already definitely adults, even at that age. It took men and women, of course, to build a society, and this is the great tribute to the female half of the equation. Did you ever hear tell of sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the wide prairie with her lover Ike, with 2 yoke of cattle and 1 spotted hog, a tall Shanghai rooster and an old yaller dog, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. One evening quite early they camped on the Platte, was there on the road by a green shady flat, while Betsy, quite tired, lay down to repose, while with wonder I gazed on his Pike County road, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. They crossed the wide river and climbed the tall peaks, and camped on the prairie for weeks upon weeks, starvation and cholera and hard work and slaughter. They reached California, spite of hell and high water, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. Out on the prairie one bright starry night, they broke out the whiskey and Betsy got tight. She sang and she shouted and danced over the plains, and showed her bare arse to the whole wagon train, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. The Injuns came down in a wild yelling horde, and Betsy was scared they would scalp her adored. Behind the front wagon wheel Betsy did crawl, and there she fought the Injuns with a musket and ball, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. The Alkali Desert was burning and bare, and Isaac so shrank at the death that lurked there. Dear old Pike County, I'll go back to you. Says Betsy, you'll go by yourself if you do. Onward, singing too-a-la-oo-a-la-oo-a-la-hey. Which brings us to just past the middle of the 19th century, where we faced our greatest test, and which was the aforementioned Civil War. Were we going to be a nation of warring factions and ripping each other to pieces, or were we going to be a United States of America, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all? There are persuasive, passionate songs from both sides. These people were fighting for our future. They made our future. They established us as a nation. Here. Ring the good old bugle, boys, we'll sing another song. Sing it with the spirit that will start the world along. Sing it as we used to sing it, 50,000 strong, while we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea, while we were marching through Georgia. Hear the voice of an emancipated slave. Hey, darkies, have you seen the massa with the mustache on his face? Go along the road sometime this morning like he gonna leave the place. He seen the smoke way up the river where the Lincoln gunboat lay. He took his hat and left very sudden and expect he's run away. The massa, ha-ha, the darkies stay ho-ho. It must be now the kingdom coming in the year of Jubilo. Rally round the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. We will rally from the hillside, we'll gather from the plain, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah! Down with the traitor and up with the straw. While we rally round the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. South, the Confederacy had their point of view. We are a band of brothers and native to the soil, fighting for our property we gained by honest toil. And when our rights were threatened, the cry rose near and far. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah for Southern rights, hurrah. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. As the blackbird in the spring 'neath a willow tree sat and piped, I heard him singing O'Raleigh, 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 made of golden hair. Sunshine came along for thee, and swallows in the air. Did you ever hear the story of the loyal cat, meow, who was faithful to the flag and ever followed that, meow? Oh, she had her happy home beneath the southern skies, but she packed her goods and left it when the troops came down, and she fell into the column with a low glad cry, meow. Poor Kitty Popcorn, buried in a snowdrift now, nevermore shall ring the music of your charming song, meow. Nevermore shall ring the music of her charming song, meow. Round her neck she wore a ribbon, she was black as jet, meow. And at once a gallant claimed her for a soldier's pet, meow. All the perils of the battle and the march she bore, climbing on her master's shoulder while her feet were sore, whispering in his ear with wonder at the cannon's roar, meow. Now the cruel war is over and the troops disband, meow. Kitty follows as a pilgrim to the northern land, meow. Ah, but sorrow overtakes her and her master dies, as she sadly gazing in his dim blue eyes, till by strangers driven rudely from the door she cries, meow. So she wanders on the prairie till she sees his form, meow, carried forth and buried roughly in this blinding storm, meow. Oh, her slender frame it shivers in the northern blast, as she seeks the sandy mount on which the snow falls fast, and alone amidst the darkness there she breathes her last, meow. Poor Kitty Popcorn, buried in a snowdrift now, nevermore shall ring the music of your charming song, meow. Nevermore shall ring the music of your charming song, meow. I wish I was in the land of cotton, old time day, and I'd forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland, in Dixieland where I was born, early on, where frosty morning. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray, in Dixieland. I take my stand to live and die for Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. We're tenting tonight on the old campground. Give us a song to cheer our weary hearts, a song of hope, and friends we love so dear. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift soar. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His day is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. That was the dividing line, really, in American history. And after the Civil War, America just burst wide open, expanded in every way imaginable, and it sort of paved the way to this most extraordinary century for this most extraordinary country. The American century, it is called, and for good reason. And along with all the other incredible developments, technology and what have you, making life somehow easier than just the pitiless blaze of the sun and toiling under it, somehow everything just became what we think of as modern America. And with that, of course, was the music as well. The golden age of American popular song is a reflection of 20th century America and its glories. The age of Gershwin, Porter, Kern, Rogers, and Berlin. And among the various forms of music, nothing is more original, at least in the 20th century, than the Broadway musical. And I think the high point, the pivotal moment in the history of the Broadway musical was the creation of Showboat by Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein II, based on a novel, really a wonderful, fascinating novel by Edna Ferber called simply Showboat. It's a thoroughly American story. It's gritty, it's realistic. It's about real people. It fulfilled the dream that people like Hammerstein and Kern had of really creating a play with music, where it was a real full-blooded three-dimensional play with real people and real situations, both good and bad. I mean, in Showboat, people marry and they die and they divorce and they suffer from alcoholism. There's racism. Everything is in there. Ups and downs, joy and sorrow. It's one of the great American artistic achievements, and certainly it belongs in any collection of great Americana. And here it comes. See the showboat, that's old Captain and the Cotton Blossom, will you go? Let me take you to the Cotton Blossom, Captain and the floating show. Thrills and laughter, concert after, everybody's sure to go. Cotton Blossom, Captain and his floating show. Thrills and laughter, concert after, get your girl and go. Oh, get your girl and go. Why do I love you? Why do you love me? Why should there be two happy as we? Can you see the why or wherefore? I should be the one you care for. I'm a lucky boy, you are lucky too. All our dreams of joy seem to come true. Maybe that's because you love me. Maybe that's why I love you. We could make believe I love you. Only make believe that you love me. Others find peace of mind in pretending. Couldn't you, couldn't I, couldn't we? Make believe our lips are blending in a phantom kiss, or two or three. Might as well make believe I love you. For to tell the truth, I do. You are love, here in my arms, where you belong, and here you will stay. I'll not let you away. I want day after day with you. You are spring, bud of romance unfurled. You taught me to see one truth forever true. You are love, wonder of all the world. Where you go with me, heaven will always be. Oh, listen, sister, I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason I should love that man. That the angels don't plan. The chimney's smoking, the roof is leaking in, but he don't seem to care. He can't be happy with just a sip of gin. Why you always talking about you? I even loves him when his kisses got gin. Fish gotta swim, bird gotta fly. I gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me I'm crazy, maybe I know. Can't help loving that man of mine. I'm just crazy about him when he goes away. That's a rainy day, and when he comes back, that day is fine, the sun will shine. He can come home late as can be. Home without him ain't known to me. Can't help loving that man of mine. Well, for all the incredible color and characterizations throughout Showboat, the main character, the central character, is the river itself. River, that old man river, he must know something, don't say nothing, he just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them soon forgotten, but just keeps rolling along. sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Hold that barge, lift that bale, get a little drunk, and you'll land in jail. I get weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of living, scared of dying. But old man River, he just keeps rolling along. Just like America. Well, 17 years after Showboat, which premiered in 1927, in the capable, incredible hands of Oscar Hammerstein II, we have another sort of high point of the American musical and really another piece of classic Americana. It came in the middle of World War II, 1943, and now Oscar Hammerstein II was teamed not with Jerome Kern, as he had been, but now with Richard Rodgers, and what a partnership that was. And they set about their partnership with a piece of patriotic, nobody even wanted to underwrite the thing because it was about cowboys and the settling of the West, and who knew? As American as Showboat, certainly, Oklahoma. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by, and a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. When I take you out tonight with me, honey, here's the way it's gonna be. I will sit behind a team of snow-white horses in the slickest gig you ever see. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. The wheels are yellow, the upholstery's brown, the dashboard's genuine leather, with eyes and glass skirting, you can roll right down in case there's a change in the weather. Two bright side lights winking and blinking, ain't no finer rig, I'm thinking. You can keep your rig if you're thinking that a care to swap for that shiny little Surrey with a fringe on the top. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a durable fix. I always say, come on, let's go, just when I ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a smack. But as soon as someone kisses me, I sort of want to kiss him back. I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I ain't the type who can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no. Don't dance is fate from above. They'll see it's all right with me. People will say we're in love. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. That's Clyde. Oklahoma, every night my honey lamb and I sit alone and talk and watch the hawk making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say yahoo, yippee, woohoo, we're only saying you're doing fine. Oklahoma, 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 okay. That was one of the wildlife here. That was Clyde. Well, there are songs that there was a time when all Americans knew all these songs, and it was something that sort of tied us all together. I call them the good old songs for a midsummer day. They're good for any time of the year, really. They're romantic, and they're literally paint pictures of American life at its most wonderful. Has the sounds and the scents of definitely. One hopes that people still have songs that we can all sit around the piano and sing. Oh, the moonlight's fair tonight along the Wabash. From the fields there comes the breath of new mown hay. Through the sycamores the candlelights are gleaming on the banks of the Wabash far away. These are sing-along songs. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Daisy would waltz with the strawberry blonde, and the band played on. Eagle-eye crossed the floor with the girl he adored, and the band played on. But his brain was so loaded, here nearly exploded, the poor girl would shake with alarm. He married the girl with the strawberry curl, and the band played on. Come Josephine in my flying machine, going up she goes, up she goes. Balance yourself like a bird on the beam in the air. She goes, there she goes, up, up, a little bit higher, up. My, the moon is on fire. Come Josephine in my flying machine, going up, along, goodbye. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, this daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, the girls he does please, and my love he's purloined it away. Hey, take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, let me root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. Side, west side, all around the town, the tots sang Ring Around Rosie, London Bridge is falling down. Boys and girls together, me and Mamie O'Rourke, we tripped the light fantastic on the sidewalks of New York. School days, dear old golden rule days, reading and writing and arithmetic, taught to the tune of the hickory stick. You were my queen in calico, I was your bashful barefoot beau, and you wrote on my slate, I love you so, when we were a couple of kids. There's a time in each year that we always hold dear. Good old summertime, when the birds in the trees and sweet scented breezes. Good old summertime, when your day's work is over and you are in clover and life is one beautiful rhyme. No trouble annoying, each one is enjoying the good old summertime. In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, rolling through the shady lane with your baby mine. You hold her hand and she holds yours, and that's a very good sign that she's your tootsie wootsy in the good old summertime. Well, as you see, I am an unabashed flag waver. I am the very grateful, immensely, infinitely grateful grandson of immigrants. I have had the privilege of being part of that great American story where the first generation arrives with nothing, but somehow provide the opportunity for their children to get an education and establish themselves in the community. And then their children, in turn, that's me, has this enhanced freedom to just do whatever I please as far as making a living. And in my case, in the arts, in music. It couldn't have come about without them. And without the freedom that they were offered and continue to be offered. It's still a country that is the beacon of the world. People still fight to get in here. It's extraordinary, exceptional. It's the best that mankind has devised, without any doubt. And I think the songs express that. Oh, Columbia, gem of the ocean, the home of the brave and the free, the shrine of each patriot's devotion, our world offers homage to thee. Thy mandates made heroes assemble, when liberty's form stands in view. Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, tucked a feather in his cap, called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, find the music and the step and with the girls be handy. I'm the kid that's all the candy, I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, I'm glad I am. So's Uncle Sam, I'm a real-life Yankee Doodle, made my name and fame and boots, just like Mr. Doodle did, riding on a pony. I love to listen to the Dixie strain, along to see the girl left behind me. That ain't a Josh, she's a Yankee, by gosh. Oh, say, can you see anything about a Yankee that's a phony? I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die, a real-life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Oh, Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies, I am a Yankee Doodle boy. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Hurrah for the flag of the free, may it wave as our standard forever, the gem of the land and the sea, the banner of the right. Let despots remember the day when our fathers with mighty endeavor proclaimed as they marched to the fray, and by their might and by their right it waits forever more. and on, singing the praises of America in these great American songs. Two gentle ones to finish. Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low and the flickering shadows softly come and go. Though the heart be weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes love's old song, comes love's old sweet song. We have an official national anthem and actually two extras as well. Here's the one, since we were really delving into the 19th century. Here's, might as well be our national anthem as well. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, oh, patriot's dream that sees beyond the years thine alabaster city gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. One can only say, God bless America, and God bless all of you, and may our future continue. As Americans, in my estimation, we are the most fortunate people on earth. This is a country where we've been allowed to live out our various destinies in a most sort of remarkable sort of way. And the music is something that hopefully ties us together and conveys itself to future generations as well. I wish you a very happy holiday, whatever it happens to be. I think every day is an American holiday when you're living as we are in our prosperity, with our problems as well, but ideally with hope and optimism, which is what built this country in the first place. I thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the program and inspired by it. Please go to fredmillermusic.com to see all my different programs there, and somewhere or the other we shall meet again. So until then, thank you so much. Take care.